Living by the coast is amazing, right? The views, the breeze, but there's this unseen battle happening right outside your window. Seriously, it's a fight between your air conditioner and the ocean itself. So we're going to dive into this often overlooked struggle and see what it really means for your home's most vital machine.
It might sound a little dramatic to call it a war zone, but honestly, it's pretty accurate. The very things that make the beach so incredible, that salty air, the constant breeze, are creating a really hostile environment for your HVAC system. So what is it that actually makes the coast such a tough place for your AC? Let's break it down.
Okay, first, let's talk about what I like to call the coastal comfort crisis. See, if you live near the ocean, your air conditioner is under a completely unique kind of stress that systems even just a few miles inland just never have to deal with. I mean, think about it. In a place like South Florida, your AC is already putting in some serious work pretty much year-round. But when you're right by the coast, it's not just cooling the air, it's constantly defending itself against a really aggressive environment. And we're not talking about an occasional fight here. This is a nonstop, 24/7 battle that just causes so much extra wear and tear. And this isn't just a feeling. You can actually see it in the numbers. An HVA system that might last a solid 15 years inland, it often fails in just 10 years on the coast. That's a third of its lifespan just gone. So who are the culprits behind this? Well, it's time to meet the two main villains in our story, the unseen coastal killers. These are the environmental factors that are actively and silently working to bring your air conditioner down. First up is the most infamous attacker of them all, salt air. That ocean breeze feels incredible, right? Well, it's carrying millions of microscopic salt particles. These tiny particles land on all the metal parts of your outdoor unit, especially those delicate aluminum fins on the coils, and just start eating them away. It's a slow, silent, and incredibly destructive process. Our second villain is extreme humidity. In a lot of these coastal areas, you're looking at humidity that averages a staggering 75%. This forces your AC to do double duty. It's not just trying to lower the temperature, it has to work constantly to pull gallons and gallons of water out of the air every single day. That relentless operation creates this immense, silent strain on every single part of the system. And here's the thing, these factors don't work alone. It's a team effort. The salt is corroding the coils and the electrical connections. The humidity is forcing the system to run constantly, which wears out the compressor. On top of all that, you've got coastal winds blowing sand and junk into the unit, and then summer storms bring power surges that can just fry the electronics. It is the absolute perfect storm of damaging conditions. So, we've met the culprits. Now let's go look at the crime scene. What does this damage actually look like in the real world? These are the common failures homeowners see and, end up having to pay for. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a really gradual decay. In the first year or two, salt is just quietly building up on everything. Then, by years 3 to 5, you can actually see the corrosion, and your system's efficiency is already dropping. After that, the electrical connections start to go. And by the time you get to year 9 or 10, you're squarely in the danger zone for a massive, catastrophic failure of the most expensive parts. And here's another classic coastal problem, all thanks to that crazy humidity. Your AC is pulling gallons of water from the air, right? This creates a constantly damp drain line. And what loves a dark, damp place? You guessed it, algae and mold. They just grow and grow until they create a total blockage. Then the water has nowhere to go. It backs up, triggers a safety switch that shuts your system down, and can cause some really serious water damage to your ceilings and walls. The compressor really is the heart of your system. It's what pumps the refrigerant, and it is by far the most expensive part to replace. We're talking anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. In a coastal environment, that heart is constantly being overworked, making its failure so much more likely. Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Now that we really understand the problems, let's talk solutions. Knowing what the risks are, how do you make smart, cost-effective decisions about your AC? Let's look at a couple of simple but really powerful rules. First up, this is a fantastic little financial guideline called the $5,000 rule. It's just a simple piece of math to help you avoid sinking good money into a system that's already on its last legs. All you do is take the cost of the repair and multiply it by the age of your unit in years. If that number comes out to more than $5,000, it's probably time to start thinking about a replacement. So let's see how this actually plays out. Let's say you're looking at a $400 repair on a system that's 10 years old. 400 times 10 is $4,000. Okay, that's under the limit, so a repair makes sense. But what if it's a $600 repair on a 12-year-old unit? Well, that gives you $7,200, which is way over that $5,000 mark. At that point, you're almost certainly better off putting that repair money towards a new, more reliable system.
All right, here's another pro tip for you, and it's one you can start using today. It's called the 3-minute rule. And this one simple habit could literally save you from the single most expensive repair there is, a burnt-out compressor. Here's the science behind it in simple terms. When your AC is running, there's a really high-pressure side and a low-pressure side inside. If you shut it off and then immediately turn it back on, the compressor has to start up fighting against all that unequal pressure. That can cause a really damaging power surge. Just waiting 3 little minutes lets all that pressure balance out, giving the compressor a much easier, much safer start. Okay, let's bring it all together now. Here is your essential survival guide, a quick summary of the key strategies you need to use to protect your big HVAC investment from that relentless coastal assault. First things first, get professional maintenance every 6 months, not just once a year. The main reason is to get that salt cleaned off the coils. Next, you have to make sure your condensate drains are kept clear to stop those clogs and prevent water damage. Now, this one is crucial. If you do need a replacement, you have to insist on coastal-rated equipment. It's made with special coatings designed to resist corrosion. And finally, have a pro check and protect those vulnerable electrical connections from all that moisture. So that really brings us to the final question you've got to ask yourself. After everything we've talked about, go take a look at that unit sitting outside your house and ask, is your home's most important machine really ready for the battle it's facing every single day?